Cruz out, Kasich out. Donald Trump, the last Republican standing. The Republicans' new standard bearer, in all likelihood, will face off against Hillary Clinton this fall. So what can we expect this fall? Joining us now, CNN political commentator Van Jones and the editor of the Weekly Standard, Bill Kristol. Bill, my first question about the fall is, will we see someone in addition to Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump running this fall? Ben Sasse, you know, overnight on Facebook, made a passionate plea for a third-party candidate to emerge. I know you are quite supportive of this, Mr. Kristol.
I am, and I hope Ben Sasse decides to pick up the mantle himself. I think it would be fantastic to have a young, intelligent, conservative, but very independent-minded and willing to work across the aisle senator on the stage with two elderly Americans, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, who really are fighting the battles. Well, I'm in my early 60s. They're a little older than I am. They get Social Security, and Ben Sasse is in his 40s. Think of the generational contrast. And I think Sasse is so much more thoughtful than either of them. I think someone like Sasse running would start off behind. It would be a big. There are a lot of hurdles to get over. It's doable though, and if he could get in the debates in September and October, I think he could actually win.
Senator Sasse in this letter makes pretty clear he's not going to be the guy.
I wouldn't say he makes it that clear. There are others. There are many others. You could go a little bit older and senior, more
Bill,
senior with Tom Coburn or something. But yeah.
But Bill, if it didn't work for John Kasich, why would it work for somebody else now?
Well, Trump beat John Kasich was a flawed candidate, but Trump did very well in the Republican primary. But a Republican primary is different from a general election. And look, I mean, some of us can't accept the choice between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. We think the country can do better. I do think some Republicans, even those who've been a little bit tempted by Trump, may come to their senses over the next few months. They haven't so far, and I've been wrong in predicting they will. But look, Trump is still, what has Trump gotten so far? 42% or something like that with the Republican primary vote? He's getting less than half of a party that represents half the country. That is not so formidable, and Hillary Clinton hasn't exactly been formidable. She just lost to Bernie Sanders in Indiana, I mean, which is not a state that she should have had that much trouble in. So both Clinton and Trump are weaker than people think right now, and there is really room for an independent candidate.
What do you think of that theory, Van?
Well, listen, I can understand the heartburn that serious conservatives, principled conservatives are experiencing because, frankly, nobody can figure out what Donald Trump believes inside of the same interview. You just heard a representative saying that he might be flip-flopping on minimum wage, but even she's not sure. And she apparently thinks that Donald Trump is running to be a talk show host convening conversations as opposed to making laws. She goes, well, he's not going to deal with black and white. That's exactly what laws are. They're in black and white. And so you have a candidate that even when he's trying to appear presidential, seems like maybe what a third grader might think a president would do or say, but doesn't have any good answers. So on the other side, though, as much concern as there is for the conservatives that he might lose and he might hurt the Republican Party, my concern is that he might win and hurt the country because I think Democrats are taking him way too lightly. I just don't think Democrats understand that there's a wave building for change, and change of any kind, of any stripe. At this point, I think Kermit the Frog could run.
And in fact, you've said that you think Donald Trump, quote, will probably win the presidency. So what should Democrats, if you think they're not taking him seriously, I mean, what's the prescription? What should they be doing, you think?
Well, a couple things. First of all, the hammer blow will fall the hardest from Trump in the Rust Belt, where Democrats have tended to be able to take things for granted. Michigan, Pennsylvania, even Wisconsin, places that have had Republican governors either now or in the recent past, that have a lot of economic pain. The winners in globalization are people like many of the folks watching this show. We get a chance to go to Walmart. We don't pay very much. We don't even think about it. So the winners are diffuse and ungrateful. But the losers in globalization who lost the jobs because of NAFTA are concentrated and they're angry and they're in the Rust Belt. If Donald Trump goes there, he can pick up votes. Democrats need to be in the Rust Belt right now trying to shore up African American and working class white votes, pointing out that, for instance, if you have a CEO president like Trump, you get like a CEO governor like you got in Michigan that gave you Flint. But if you don't make those arguments and you just lay back and think demographics are going to save you and gaps are going to save you, you will be washed out to sea like all the Republicans have been so far.
So, Van, maybe Donald Trump can win some Rust Belt Democrats. The question is, will he lose some Beltway conservatives, say like editors of magazines like Bill Kristol? Bill, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, because there's been some confusion over the last several days, right? You've been never Trump for a while. Then you said, in an interview, well, maybe never, never doesn't mean never.
No.
Is it never Trump? Are you going to vote for Donald Trump? Will you vote for Donald Trump, yes or no?
No.
Never.
No, I've always been never Trump. I joked around on radio. This will teach me to joke around on radio and TV.
You can't joke.
I was just musing on never and the meaning of never say never, but that was a mistake. I am never Trump. I couldn't vote for Trump. I can't vote for Hillary Clinton either, honestly, which is why I'd like to see an independent candidate. I think Van may be right. It's a very unpredictable election. Maybe some Democrats are underestimating Trump. There are a heck of a lot more Rust Belt workers than there are Beltway conservative pundits. I will stipulate that. So I'm not saying that I have any power or about to do anything here, but there are real Republicans. And what I've been struck by in the last 24, 36 hours, the number of people I've talked to who themselves heard from lots and lots of people, including people they don't know personally, people I don't know personally, emailing the Weekly Standard. They see me on CNN and they sort of find out where I work, and they find the general address for the Weekly Standard on email, and they say, please, we can do better. We can do better than Donald Trump.
But well, Bill, the Republican Party nominated Donald Trump. I mean, it's not like this was a fluke or he got in a technicality. He got in after winning all these states and beating 16 other people.
No, that's true. Great parties make mistakes, and they need to be saved from their mistakes in exceptional circumstances. And I hope we can save the Republican Party from this mistake, because I think after 6 months of Trump, convention, debates, if he becomes the face of the Republican Party and the only face of the Republican Party, even if he loses, which I expect him to do, it's a real crisis for the Republican Party. I don't think it's easy for the Republican Party to move beyond Donald Trump after he is the Republican Party for 6 months, which is why it's so important that someone